Hey everybody, I thought I'd just give you a bit of an insight. First of all, I want to say thank you for following my page. Thank you for commenting on my stuff. Thank you for engaging in this stuff. I know sometimes it can be controversial, but I want to give you insight as to why I do what I want to do. Part of it is because of the people I see. The other half is because of my background, where I've come from. So probably the first part is my background, where I come from was I had the misguided belief that success was, externally validated. I've been down that path. I grew up in my late teens, was in banking from the age of 17, in an environment that's very money focused. And you drive and you're taught that success is how much you have. Success is, the possessions, the house, the car, the money, the bank balance, the way you look, your external validation, your ego, and you find out that that's pretty much empty and a sure way to disaster in a very quick way. It's unfulfilling completely, and it's a chase. Like you never really get there. You're never really successful. So so I had the experience myself. Especially going that corporate career, which is for me, it was pretty unfulfilling. Like it's some of the values that these corporations have completely misaligned with who I am as a person. And then you're working for a place that, because you feel like you have to, and you got to pay the mortgage, you got to, live. You're selling your soul a bit because, you're working for a place, getting a paycheck, knowing the fact that you actually hate the company because they don't align with who you are, but you feel stuck. But what else are you going to do? So, it's a I get it. And then there's this high stress stuff, right? So you're in this place of competition and egos and people trying to one up each other. And you get in this place where you're stressed, you're burnt out, you're lost, you're unfulfilled, you're probably partake in things you shouldn't partake in to deaden the pain. And, so I get that part. I really do. And then there's the psychic intuition part where I've seen literally thousands of clients over the last 25, 30 odd years. And, most people are coming for a psychic reading because, well, that's what I was doing. I don't do them anymore. And that's a whole other story in itself, right? But it's people come because they want to know that they're going to be okay. They want to know they're going to be safe and that life's going to turn out to be fine. And a lot of people don't know where to turn. They don't know what steps to take. They don't know the right way to do things. They've seen psychologists, counselors, maybe other coaches, spiritual coaches, mindset coaches, emotional coaches, all that kind of stuff. And they're still lost. They still don't have some kind of guidance to what's really burning inside of them, this desire of who they want to be or discover who they want to have, because they got this external influence on them about, this is what life is, this is what success is, especially look at Instagram these days. It's all about people living these laptop lifestyles and traveling the world. And I can tell you now, most of that's just bullshit because most of those coaches are lying. And, it's a lot of stress and pressure on that kind of world. And I was just continually seeing it through psychic readings, up one after the other, after the other, after the other. People just disillusioned with their own life. And the reason why I'm doing this is, even though I work with a very certain elite client now, because I've probably just taken 30 odd years to get to that point. But I want to share what it takes to operate at that level. I want to share how it shifted me and going down the spiritual realm, going down the place of the sacred teachings, the esoteric teachings, the real deeper meaning of life itself through spiritual alchemy and mastery and wisdom, and looking at life from an inside out perspective, not an outside in, and how life completely shifts when you really do take life from a different perspective. Because most of us have, a complete perspective. Well, it's wrong. It's incorrect. Most of us got an incorrect view of life and the way it is. So my thing is to try and help you understand that, because I'm only one person and I can't see a lot of people. I don't see a lot of people, and so the part of this is me sharing my story, my journey, and what I found by being able to help you understand that what really unlocks true success, true freedom, true peace, true love, true connection, true abundance and wealth and happiness and health and all that kind of stuff is breaking free of the ego. And the ego is not bad, but it's the false ego. And coming into your true self, which is a spiritual being, and tapping into that. And because that's who you truly are. And that place is, and that person, that being is, it's limitless. It doesn't know limitations, but we live in limitations because of stories we've made up. So, and, I see a lot of people who, as I said before, have been to see people and they're just trying to fix problems and fix problems and fix problems and fix problems. And they keep in this loop about trying to fix problems because these people don't understand that if you continually focus on problems, you're just recreating the problem. And when I tell people, well, work them through the esoteric teachings about how reality actually works and how it's created, they don't focus on problems. They focus on, unlearning what they've learnt. Bit of a, Star Wars theme there, the old Yoda stuff. You must unlearn what you've learnt. And, when they start doing that, people start to realize that, wow, life does really open up. And that's the reason why I'm doing this now is I want people to experience this. I want people to, I got sick of, seeing client after client after client coming for a psychic reading, all just, like, I'm sitting there going, these guys aren't going to do anything about it. They're coming to get hope that their life is going to be okay and they don't have to do anything and something magic is going to happen to them and it's going to be okay. And that's not how life works. And that's why teaching the esoteric principles and the sacred teachings is really, really important because it helps you tap into that power and take control back in your life. Well, when you have that power, you don't need to control it; it just flows. But yeah, so my journey is to, help you do that, right? And so this is sort of a bit of a different video, one where it's me. Talking about me and why I'm doing it, why it's so important to me, because I think everyone deserves it. And when I was down this path, I was, excluded from some groups, especially in the spiritual realm, because I was wearing a suit and I was rocking up to some of these classes in a suit and I was told to leave because I was corporate and I was in banking. And I found that very, very confronting for groups that are meant to be spiritual and all love and light, who basically said, no, we don't want you because you somewhat, you have wealth, success and, all that kind of stuff. But, none of them really asked who I was or, why was I there? And, I found it very, very judgmental. But in one way, also, it was my gift that I had to go and find this stuff for myself. So I believe no matter who you are, you should have access to this. I don't care if you've got five Porsches and 3 Lamborghinis living in Turak. You still deserve to have access to this because it's everyone's birthright to get access to the spiritual teachings and to really unlock their life in a very profound way. Because there's personal development, there's self-help, and then there's this. This blows it out of the water. And people who have had the experience of going down the spiritual aspect of coaching, there is nothing like it. You can't compare it because there's nothing to do. And when I say to people, you don't need to do anything, there's nothing to fix, they kind of look at you weird and go, well, sure, there's to be some practice, some yoga or breathing technique. Well, it's like, yeah, keep doing that stuff. They're great to help. But, the magic happens when you start to realize how reality works based on perspective and stories, and then tapping into who you are and that power of that essence of, your pure abundance and love. Once you really get there, it actually clicks. You kind of go, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now, Greg. Yeah, there's more of this where it comes from. I don't need to do anything. Life is the way it is, and life is, pretty much perfect. So yeah, I for me, I'm doing this because it's important. I'm doing this because everyone deserves to have access to these, sacred teachings that, aren't complicated, but they're quite profound once you get them, and they transform people's lives. And I just said, look, I saw literally thousands of people through psychic readings going, well, most people are lost, but they deserve something better. They deserve to be able to have access to this stuff if they want to go down this path, because it's just, like I said, we just deserve to be given the opportunity to live a life of meaning and one of love and connection, and a health and wealth and abundance without all the crap we put through the day unnecessarily. So, and I know what it did for me as far as transforming my life. I know what it can do for everybody else who taps into it, and that's why I'm starting to share some stuff online, because people just deserve to have access to it. And it means a lot to me to see people change their lives. It means a lot for me to actually see people break away from, the despair, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, the feeling of hopelessness, being lost, watching relationships destroyed, alcoholism, people tracking drugs, all that kind of stuff, just to deaden the pain, or trying to, chase the dragon of success. And as and I'll do a video on this one day, most people who chase success are doing it from pain. They're doing it to, avoid something. And in that space, there is no success, no matter how much success or money or wealth or how many women you sleep with. If you're coming from pain, it's never going to be enough. Never be a time when you'll say, "I've got it now. I feel successful." And it goes for both men and women as well too, right? So for where I'm at, I'm just grateful that you're on my page. Grateful that you're on my socials. Grateful that you're part of my email list. I'll be grateful if you rock up to some of the free events I'm putting on, so you can see the magic as it happens live. I understand that most people can't can't hire me, and I don't see a lot of people per year. That's by design in itself. One of my very, very good mentors, John Street, said to me once, "Greg, what's the first thing you want to do?" And this is why I ask this to all my people who start. The first question he asked me is, "What lifestyle do you want to have?" And that's one of the most profound questions I think I've ever heard from someone, because he wasn't about, let's 10x stuff, let's 1,000x stuff, let's make you more money. So he goes, what lifestyle? Tell me about your lifestyle you want to have. What does it look like? And and he really got to know me as a person. He got to know what I wanted to do and how I ticked and what was important to me and what my values were, and where I was struggling, and what desires and dreams I had, and that's how it's how I work. It's about helping you become a game changer in your own life, to dare to dream, so to speak, because those dreams can be fulfilled, coming from the right place. And that's where hopefully a lot of my trainings and content helps you understand that there is a way forward, and the way forward is not complicated, and you have to sit in therapy for 3, 4, 5 years talking about your problems, because it's not the right method, the way to do it. So for me, this has been, what is it, 9:15 on a Tuesday night, just having a bit of a chat and just talking about why I think it's important. I think where I'm at right now, I think it's important why I do it, and because I really love helping people. It's something that it's to see people come here and change their lives, and to make to see them have connections in their family and connection with their kids, and reconnect with themselves and have a smile on their face, and watch the stress go down, and the disillusionment and the lost feeling, and they've got the confidence back, and they've got the self-belief back, and they're really ticking with life. There's nothing better than to share that experience with somebody, and to know that you actually haven't done a lot, that you've given them the wisdom and the knowledge that they've done it themselves. And that's the greatest gift. Is it's not me telling someone to do something, it's about them discovering this for themselves, so they can then do that. My job is to teach you as much as it's to give give that stuff. This is not my knowledge, it's teachings from the long way back. So, and as I said, like, doing thousands of psychic readings, they're just people just wanting to have some sense of comfort when they were in a place where they didn't have comfort, and they were, as I said, they were concerned about the future, about what was going to happen, and they didn't know what the right steps were to take to move forward. And if I can give some people some insight into that world and insight how I work with my high performers and why they work that way, then if you take something from that and you change your life, go for it. The more the people who do that, the better. I'd love you to give comments. Some of the stuff I say might not sometimes resonate. I am very opinionated on some things, but that's not to say I'm right. That's just my view of the world, and you can disagree with me, and that's completely okay. I've disagreed with a lot of different people, but you have the right to have a different version of life. As you'll soon see, if you go down this path of spiritual world, is that that reality is a very, very strange place, and once you tap into that world of spirituality and what consciousness is and how it looks and how you view the world, and then how you see other people view the world, you soon realize that there is no reality. It's just a mismatch of everything, and your reality changes depending on what meaning you give it. And that's a real sort of just a head turner, that reality can change in an instant depending on the thought behind it. So and I'll share some things like some of the books I've read that have helped me along the way. There's quite a few authors, and I'll share some of the things that haven't worked for me. Like I spent some time at the Gnostics and I was kicked out because I was wearing a suit. I did transcendental meditation in Melbourne. Same thing there. Got told to leave because I come straight from work in the city. Like it's some of the shit that just the judgment, and that's. Am I still? Yeah, but it drives me because I think some of the spiritual crap that's out there, it's very judgmental. Like if you don't conform to a certain club, if you rock up and you're not who they think you should be, then they do judge you, and they do hold shit back from you, and they will segregate you. The spiritual industry, it ain't spiritual. I can tell you, it's so competitive. They will stab you left, right, and center, and I've seen that. So I'm here to I don't care who you are. I have helped people that have come out of jail and helped them with what I do. I've had bikies. I've had, politicians. I've had corporate CEOs. I've had athletes. I've had mum and dads. I've had homeless people. I don't care who you are. You deserve to have access to this information, this wisdom, this knowledge, because it is something that completely transforms your whole life. It is so far. You look back and think, this is well beyond personal development. It is light years ahead of it, because personal development is based in headspace, your NLP, like kind of stuff. Again, it's about fixing things. It's about fixing your problems, and the spiritual aspect has a whole different meaning towards problems, which is another video, another day. But yeah, so for me, just shooting from the hip here. I really appreciate you listening and being part of my socials, and commenting it. Like I really am grateful for anyone who spends the time to watch this stuff. So I pride myself on trying to provide valuable content where you can take something out of it and impart it into your life. If there's some things that you want me to go further into, or there are some things you want me to talk about, just literally just hit me up, message me. I reply to stuff. You don't get a AI bot. You don't get my assistant. You actually get me. If there's something that you find there's a question, I'm more than happy to answer it. If I don't know anything about it, I'll tell you I don't know anything about it. So it's actually really important that I know that you can just interact with me as much as you want, and because I think this stuff is really important to know, and it really does help people. But so I just thought get on here and just do a bit of a thank you video for people who listen to and read my stuff, because it is, I really do value it, because it's important that I you see the humanity behind what I'm trying to write, and some of the, you don't get some of the stuff out of email content or some of the shorts I put on Instagram. What you're seeing, me is just here, but probably a bit raw and authentic about why it's important, because it is important to me. It is important that people get access to this stuff and help transform their lives in a way that's profound. So yeah, but again, yeah, thank you for that. Heaps more content coming out. Heaps more stuff to write about. If you have, like I said, again, if you have something you want me to write about, please hit me up, and I'll do that. But in the meantime, have a bloody good day or evening, and yeah, thank you for being part of the journey, because my idea with this is to take everyone on a journey, and to have people to say, look, I want to be on that journey. I want to be on that boat or spaceship or whatever you want. I want to jump on that space, with Greg, and see where it goes to, because it is a wonderful, wonderful path. If I could, it just it's just a wonderful awakening to break free of the conditioning of society and to live a place where you're free from a lot of stuff that happens today. And my job is to help you do that, the quickest and best way possible, and to do it in a way that opens up your heart, and connects the heart and the mind, and to live from that place, and to live with joy and passion and abundance and peace and wisdom and connection, that you get to the end of this journey and you think, yeah, I gave it a fair crack. I made a difference. And yeah, and that's important. So anyway, enough for this video. And you get more of this stuff coming to your socials or inbox very soon. Okay, catch you later.